programming. So guys, welcome back to another Python programming bootcamp. I think it's day 5, and today we are just covering how to debug, or why debugging actually is important, because most of you probably just write print and print your variables to see what's inside. And then we will move over to Git, because last week we talked about the home assignment where you had to get familiar with Git, how to use it, and why it's actually important, okay? And today, most people are not here because it's Sunday, and some have some family obligations or have to go somewhere else. That's why we just cover technical parts, so we will dive into new chapters. And yeah, so I will start with debugging. And yeah, so Tess and Johnny Henry, guys, you know, we coded a lot of for loops already, and used some if conditions. And I think, Johnny, you used the most Python code so far, right? And now I want to show you a way how to debug a little bit better and faster, because I think this is one of the most, or the biggest bottlenecks while coding. But it only is important or can be leveraged if you understood the principles of coding already, which you guys do. So if you are a total beginner, it doesn't make any sense to teach you how to use Git, or to teach you how to debug with some external tools, you know. And that's why we will dive into the code now, and we pretend that we have some.
I have a very quick question.
Yes.
Before we start, can you please tell me why we should debug? Why it's important to debug?
Exactly. That's a good point, because I wanted to show you with the code actually, but maybe we just can go through this part. Did you talk with Monet already about debugging, or did he just talk about something else on Wednesday?
Yeah, he showed me how it's working, basically.
With the IDE debugger?
Yeah, we use PyCharm, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so
But
um,
still the question is like, why should you use it, and so on.
yes, of course, of course. So the reason why you want to debug is because you always, because you want to understand what your code actually is doing. And imagine you have a lot of for loops, or you are working with a lot of variables, you know? Like imagine right now, in our code, as you can see here, we maybe have one variable, which is community members. And then you have one function, and here's another variable, and maybe also another function. So it's pretty, you have a small amount of variables. But what if you have like a lot of different files where you actually need to understand, okay, at which point in the code does your variable act in a way which you expect it to be, you know? So in a for loop, let's say you want to loop through all of those names, and suddenly your code is not doing what you want to do, but you thought you coded it in a way how it should be, okay? And then you just debug by going through each step one by one individually. So you just check it. It's like when you want to bake a cake or something, and your cake should be brown at the end, right? But somehow your cake is blue. And you're like, you're thinking, why is it blue and not brown? But while you're baking your cake, then it's too late already. So you can't repeat it unless you repeat the whole process, right? And here you can check out every point in the code, and then you can have an overview of each variable or function or state of your code. Okay? Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes or no? Okay. I think I just can give you an example on this one, because that's why I'm saying it only makes sense to debug if you already understand those algorithms and Python expressions. And you, for example, I talked about the return statement last time, right? So do you know what the return statement actually does? Johnny? And why is it important? Or Tess?
So what I understood is that if you were to print, then the program wouldn't carry over the variable, like the return basic. What I understand is return basically means that you can use the variable of a function for something else.
Yes, yes. It goes into the right direction. So the return statement just tells you what, like, the object. It doesn't have to be a variable only, because it can be anything. And because every time you run a function, like here, you can see here, you run the function, and then it does something, blah, blah, blah. And then you also have a code block which does something here, do something. And then you can say, regardless if you want to return any value which this function created for you, you can return something else. So it doesn't matter what you want to give back. So the variable, like for example here, look at this one. Wait, maybe I can do it like this quickly. Okay, I will just.
I can explain it with like with a metaphor.
Okay.
You know, you go like into a pizzeria, and the pizzeria, like the function basically tells the pizzeria, okay, please bake me a pizza. And if you use print, the pizza will never ever leave the pizzeria to the customer. So if you use return, the pizzeria can give you the pizza, and now you can do whatever you want to do with the pizza.
Yes, exactly. And it doesn't have to be a pizza only, because it also can say, or you say, I want a pizza, some fries, a Coke, and even pasta from another shop. So they just take everything, because the function can execute another function as well, right? And then you get something else and gets it to you and give it to you. But if it just says, I'm ready and I have everything prepared for you, it doesn't mean you have it already, right?
Yes.
The shop has to give it to you. And that's what you actually do with a return statement. And that's one example where debugging is important. So you know, does this function give you an output of what you actually want to do, so you can continue working with this value or values or actually the objects. But I will show you it with the debugging, okay? So let's remove everything here actually. And we will go into debugging. And now it's important for Tess, because Tess hasn't debugged in this way before, maybe. But I think you did, Tess, because you already have experience with C and C# or so. But I don't know.
No, we were not really using an IDE, so I didn't
Oh,
really have a
okay,
debugger.
okay.
It was like we are programming on something like how is it called, Sublime
Ah, okay.
editor, and this is really just a text editor with syntax highlighting, and then you go in your console and you use GCC to compile.
Ah, okay, makes sense.
So I'm not used to a debugger.
Okay, then it's the perfect thing for you right now. So I will just show you this way. The first way is how beginners debug, which is completely fine. And I still know senior data scientists and front-end developers who code like this and debug in this way, which is like this. So we just have a for loop here with a range of 10. So you have a range object or your list of 10 elements, and then people just say print I, right? So what will happen? We'll just print it. And then you can see here my output is just the whole list in one column. Like each row gets this one printed, right? Which makes sense. And now let's make it a little bit easier to see. Import time. So we just put a break into this one, time.sleep. So I will just wait 2 seconds before I print it, so people actually then understand that this is a for loop again. So I print the first element here, I, 0, 1, I wait 2 seconds, and then it continues with all that. And now imagine we have a function, and we say def print name, for example. and then I say it has no parameters, and then it just says, what is this? So my code recommended me something. What is that? Advanced completion. Okay, what is this? Is this a time? No, it's a time actually. Time. Print time. Okay, just forget what this is. This is just the time which has been generated for me. So let's see what will happen. I'll just create this function here, and then I will use it and print it every time I loop, okay? Print time. Make sense until here? Okay, so I just print it, and then you see my first loop, my first loop is 0, and then it just prints a time. The time or date actually is here, so actually it's a date, so I just rename it to print date, take this one, print it here, and then you see this is just a for loop which does everything. And now I want to check if the time, no, I think it's right? Today's the 7th.
Print every 2 seconds, and why does it?
Oh, no. I removed it. You can see I removed it. Here, the time. I can say time to sleep, 2 seconds, and then it would be fine. Okay, now I just have everything which I wanted to have, right? And now imagine I want to pass the index of this function into this element into my function. So I just write I here, right? So this is my argument right now. Makes sense, right? But to do that, because if I run it now, it will just give an error because I didn't have it defined here. So I would say this is like some variable from for loop, just to make it very clear what is happening here. Okay? Oh no, one element from for loop. Okay? And now I print it, and then I will see that I will say, I will use the f-string format now. So it's like this, and say one bum. Does it make sense? Can you follow here? So for those who don't know, this is a way to print with variables in your print statement, print function, where you just have to say f, and then you just write the normal quotation marks. And if you have a variable, you just have to write those curly brackets with your variable, which is this one. And then I will just put something here. And also I can put this one into one. Is this the right bracket? Oh no, oops, so far. So I just made it look a little bit better, I guess. Does it make sense? Oh no, the bracket is too close. Okay, now it should make sense. So let's see what will happen. Oh no, I have an error because I missed some brackets here. Oh my god. Please somebody save me. This is the bracket here. Man, I have too many brackets. Please, somebody save me. Okay, this is the first one here. This is the second one, and then I have to do it here. Oh my god, guys. Something is wrong here. I need to do this. I think now it's getting too complicated. Okay, now it should work. Please. God, help me. Perfect. Okay. You see this? Now I just added this element from this loop into my function. It looks a little bit too scuffed, so let's do it again. So you see, I'm printing it and waiting 2 seconds. 0, like here. This is 0. And then date and so on. And now I want to check if it's actually correct and if I'm printing the right name or like the right date. And for that, I can use the debugger in PyCharm. Okay, so I just want to check if I have everything printed in this way how I want, like which you can see right now. And for that, I just can press here next to the line. Can you see that? Then I just created a red dot. And now this red dot is a breakpoint. That means now you can tell the code, your IDE, which is PyCharm in this case, okay, I will run the whole code I will just run it from the top to the bottom until I reach this point, this breakpoint. So I will break, and then I will move over and print you what's happening right now. And to do that, we have a special button which is a bug on PyCharm, which you can see on the top.
Question about breakpoint.
Yes.
Does the code still include line 9, or is it just until 8?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually don't know because I just run until it, but I think it will run until this point, and then it won't pass this point. Let's check it out. So you see this one, it says debug main because I'm in my main file and I will just debug it, okay? So let's see. Because Johnny, one reason why I don't know it is because I don't use this debugger at work. I use another debugger. That's why I can't tell you how it exactly works in this way.
Well, it includes everything. It will just stop at your breakpoint. It's like a pause button. When you press continue, it's gonna follow up with the code. So
Okay.
everything in it is included. Make me loud.
No, I will report you. Okay, let's check it out. Look, I will press the debug button and see what happens. You see, now it suddenly opens another window. So actually this window would be down here, but I just moved it out so I can float around. And look at this test. Now I just pressed it and it opens a new debug window with my main file. And then it will just show you everything in this section here down below. So you see, now I have one I. It shows me everything about my variable. And let's say I have another one, which is my name equals long. And then let's run it again. Look at this. Now it just goes from the top to this very point. So you see, Johnny, it just goes to this point, but it doesn't do anything, okay? Do you follow?
Okay. Okay, I can follow.
So now you see, my code went from this beginning, the first line, to the line 10. And then it printed all the variables which exist at this very point in time of this code. And then as you can see, the first variable is I, which is this one. And then it tells me it is an integer. So it shows me it's the data type int and the value is 0. Does it make sense, Tess?
Yes.
Okay, and now I go and see there's another variable which is called my name, which is long, the value is long, and it is a string. So your code already knows, okay, something exists, which is this one, my name, and it's long. And you can see here, do you see this one, which is blue? This comes from the debugger as well. So at this very point in time, it tells me here is a variable again, which is also called long. And then I can see the same output, which I see here. So you basically can see what's happening right now. Because sometimes you write, for example, a number. So you want a constant number. And then you just have 1, okay? But actually, you want it to be a string. But in your head, you're just, I just need 1. And then you run it again. And then it tells you, I have a constant number, which is called, a variable, which is called a constant number. And the value is 1. And it tells you it's an int. Okay? It's an int. So you actually already know, okay, I wanted an integer, so it is an int, and then I can continue. But if it would be a string, or I expect a string, but it's an int, you already know, oh, this could be wrong. Because otherwise, the other way how to do that is like this. So let's close the debugger here and get rid of the breakpoint and go back to this one. And let's say we want to check the type and the value of a constant number. How do you do that, Tess? Like if you want to check this one out, like you want to see what's inside here.
Well, you would do a breakpoint after this is.
No. Let's say without a breakpoint. Without a breakpoint.
Okay. So we're debugger.
Yeah, exactly, just like that.
Okay, yeah, then you would just print the content of that variable.
How do you do that?
Do like print a constant number.
Exactly. Okay, let's make it a little bit more advanced, and let's say this is a variable which is I declared it somewhere else. Okay, right now it's just kind of global, but we don't care about that right now. And let's
Short question.
yeah.
When you say you declare it somewhere else, is this going to like the point where you say I declared it in a different file and I passed it on, and so
Oh
I
no, I just mean I declared it outside of the function, and both functions, like this function here and this code block, they can see, they have access to this variable right now. So I don't code it somewhere else. It's just not in the scope of a loop or a function. That's just what I mean, okay? Now let's say I want to extend my function with another parameter. So I would just say constant number, because I want to move to pass a constant number as well. And here is a function, so I just declared it here. And now I will just extend it by taking this number and put it here. So I print date, I get just the loop, and then I also like the loop element, here the I, and then I also just print the constant number. And now this is where your debugger actually gets interesting, Johnny, you know, because before that, you basically just could use print as well. But now you move your element from the for loop, so it's your first point of execution, and then you pass it to another function, which is the print date, and then you just need to understand, or you have to check, does this function actually got the right number? Does it make sense, Johnny?
I do, but I think you have to include the constant number into your print, else it doesn't.
Yes, but I didn't get to that point yet, because I still need to use it, yes. So I just say print constant number, okay? But you don't want to print it all the time, so you just put, let's say here, you put a breakpoint, and then I will just print something else, so I just have another line so I can go through, okay? This is just test, it doesn't matter. Because if I don't, it will just execute the function and then go back, and then we can't see what actually is happening. So now we have this constant number here, and let's run the debugger by pressing, or let's do what Tess just said. So normally you go here and you say print constant number, right? Oops. Constant, come on, give me. Why is it not coming? Oh, okay, it's coming. So you have it, and then this is how you print it. But the thing is, look at this. I will just remove all of that and just print it like here. And you see, now it's just printing the constant number like that. But you don't know what type is it, does it even change, why is it always the same? So you don't even know what's happening, you know? Even though, for example, let's say you wrote print constant number here as well. Is it right here? Oh, it's a constant number. So let's say you wrote here constant number and here constant number, okay? And now you run your code, and then suddenly it's printing 1 and 2 ones again. Oops, can I make it bigger? And then you don't even know what's happening. You see? Imagine you have so many variables which have the same type, or accidentally get the same value or something, and then you don't know where is all of that. What type do they have? Is it a string of a 1, or is it an integer 1? And that's why just printing it doesn't help you so much. But if we go here, and now we just set a breakpoint and then press the debug button again here on top, look at this. I go here, and then it tells me, okay, I have a constant number now. So the whole code runs from here, goes down to this one, and it doesn't stop at this point because it's a function. It got called at this point. So I go here, and then it gets called at this point, and then it prints this number right now. And now I can see, okay, a constant number, which is this variable, is int 1. Makes sense, right? And the one element from for loop, this parameter, or this variable, is 0 because I just passed this one. Makes sense, okay? Or any questions? Until here? Okay, perfect. Now test, now you can do the next step. Because now you just saw, okay, I see some output. I can see the type, I can see where the code actually stopped, and I can see what's happening. And now you can say, move to the next step, to the next line of the code, which the code would do without you doing anything now. But you can tell him, move one step. And to do that, you have this terminal here with those arrows. Do you see that? Here. It says step over, step into my code, step out. You can play around with all of that. And let's see what happens when I say step over. Look at this. It just stepped over. It means we stopped here, right? And what is the code doing? The code basically doesn't have anything else to do. It just went into this function, executed it, and then it finished, because here it finished and came back without a return statement, Johnny. So it just continues and sleeps, okay? And there's no change in any variable. You see the constant number is still 1 and I is still 0. And now let's move to the next step. And you can see the highlight here. Do you see that, the blue one? It tells you where my code actually is. Now I go to the next one, and you see it's sleeping. It does nothing. And then the line just moved one row down, and then I will go to the next one. And then what's happening? Nothing. So let's go to the next one, because now it will print what I have here. So let's see if it printed something or so. Yeah, I don't know if it's printed here. But as you can see, now it finished the for loop because it stopped here. It printed a constant number somewhere, which basically is this expression again because it didn't do anything. And then it just repeats the for loop because, as you can see, the blue line here is at the beginning of the for loop. So what will happen when I press step into the next line, step over test?
Tell me that what is it? Yeah, would increase by 1 because the for loop counts up the range, and because a constant number is a constant variable, it wouldn't change anything there.
Perfect. Okay, let's see. Now you see exactly what you said. It will just increment. This is an important word. It incremented the I variable from 0 to 1, and then it goes to the next one, and then it just does it again. And then it goes here, prints the number, it's finished, it comes back, so it returned basically, and then it goes to sleep, next, and then it just went to the last line. And then you basically can play around, use shortcuts, or just check out what special variables are, because those basically give you more information about your current environment. As you can see here, it says my file is located here as user long development demo long main. I can see the main function or the main file, actually, everything which you want to know. Okay? And this is basically what the debugger is doing for you. And this is a very simple or simplified example. So you don't see the full power of the debugger right now. But this is how you can get started using the debugger. And then you can see everything instead of writing. For example, here, you don't want to write print type of constant number. And then, or if you want to say print type, or like if constant number, or like I don't want to say constant number equals 1, just to see if it's true or not. So that's what you can do and check here by yourself. Okay? So that's like.
I think it's something, as you said, I'm not getting 100% of the functions of the debugger right now. I think it's in my feeling it's something I will get the moment it gets more complex.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Because right now we're just printing, you know? We don't know what's happening. We don't manipulate anything. We didn't change. We didn't add to it. We didn't do any computations or calculations. So it's all okay. But you also can use the debugger and change the variables in real time while it executes the code. But that's which we can cover in another video, or if we get to the point where we do that. But right now, I just wanted to introduce you to the debugger, okay?
Yeah. All right.
Can I also use the debugger in case I'm writing a while loop and I'm ending
Of course.
in an infinite loop to understand why I'm in an infinite loop?
Yeah, but if it's an infinite loop, you will just see what's happening, and then you have to apply or think and process your logic, if it makes sense, you know, because then you can see, okay, you say while I is like while a variable is has a specific name, it will continue, right? And then you can check the value of this variable if it ever changes, and then you can see every loop that the name never changes, so it will just move endlessly. So that's why how you can do that, you know. So this is just the beginning. Play around. You can even set multiple breakpoints, as you can see here. And we just stop, and then it does everything for you. But this is basically what you should learn today, how to use the debugger, and remember this button here with the bug on it. Okay?
One really dumb question because I already forgot about it. How are you setting the breakpoint? Like, what are you clicking?
I just click between the code and the line number.
Okay. Okay. So it's just okay. Yeah.
Look, I just
No
press.
special shortcuts. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and also you only can press a breakpoint where you have some code, as you can see here.
Yeah,
You see
makes
my
sense.
comment? It doesn't even make sense if I debug my comment. I can't click here. You see that?
All right.
Okay, so that's it for the debugging part. And there's no problem if you still use print. But at one point, it's easier if you learn how to debug, and then you can see everything what is happening. Because now we just have like maybe 5 variables. Oh my god, variables. But imagine you have like 10 variables, and then you have a dictionary where you want to check specific values. And then it gets very complicated because we didn't cover dictionaries yet, but at one point we will do that. Okay?
So,
Alright.
can you tell me when you personally do debugging between your workflows?
Good question.
Like a certain point in your code where you always debug to make sure it works, or do you have like a, or is this just a feeling thing type of thing?
No. It's a good question, and I only debug when I coded something and it works, but it doesn't do what it should be doing. You know, because I did everything what I thought is right, then it's running, and I expected, for example, a list of 100 elements, but somehow all the elements are the same, of 100 different elements, but I get a list of the same elements. So that's wrong. And then I have to go through the whole code and check, okay, here is where the element or the variable should change, but why is it not changing? And then I can check, okay, this function, oh, I see, I didn't add the, I don't know, calculation or the assignment how to change the variable or how it should be changed. And then I know, okay, this is my error. So I don't debug that often, except if I come across a very stupid or a very weird output. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this way, which I just showed you, you don't need to use in a for loop or something. I mean, you could do that right now if we have a big for loop, but right now it should be easy just by printing is okay. But there also are many other ways to debug. Like you could use the Python debugger, which comes with the with Python itself. instead of the PyCharm IDE, debugger. Okay? Yes. So that's it for the debugger test. I hope I could give you some insights how to use them. If you have any questions, let me know. And your time is over now. You can go.
It is. All right. Thank you very much, and hear you.
Yes,
Bye.
all right. Bye.
Bye.
So then this was the chapter of the debugger, Johnny. Do you have any other question and or about Git specifically? And then we can actually I can show you, or do you know how to use the command line interface already?
Yeah, I've been practicing it every now
Oh.
and then. But the problem I encountered is that sometimes, even though I commit and push, my files are empty. Like the file itself is uploaded into my repository, but there's no content into it. So I wonder why that happens. Or what
Okay, okay. Let's check this out after I actually dived into the topic, so people actually know how to use Git right now. Okay.
Okay.
So, guys, now we move over to the Git topic. So I will explain how to use it, but before that, we need to understand why you should Git. Okay. So let me go to content and let's share my screen. Can I do it here? Do you see my screen actually? Oh yeah, you can see it. So perfect. So this is my browser, and I will say Git. So when you hear Git, you just need to understand that this is the logo, and that Git is like a Dropbox or Google Drive to store files, basically. Okay. But the cool part about that is that you can control your versions of your files. So that's the first part. Because imagine you are coding. Imagine you are coding for 5 hours, and of course you don't start coding and then you type everything in one run, and then it's completely done and you finish everything, right? That's that's like the dream workflow, but that's not how it works. And now imagine you work 5 hours, you change your code, you have one version after 1 hour, and it works. And now I say, hey Johnny, can you show me your code and send me your file? Okay, you send me the file, and I can work with it as well. And now 4 hours in, you change so many things, Johnny. So many things, right? And I didn't work for the last 3 hours, so I'm just like, oh, can I get your updates as well? What do? Do you send me another file so I can delete my file and then copy your file into my PC, and then I can continue work with that? I think that's not so cool, right? The workflow is a little bit unorganized and not so reliable, because imagine you also have a lot of images which we work with, like which are like, I don't know, 2 gigabytes big. So how do you transfer it to me? Do you go to Google Drive and then put it into Google Drive and send it to me? It could work, but imagine 5 people do the same and they have to work on the same project. So everybody has to create a Google Drive account or a Google Drive folder so you can share all of that. I don't think that makes sense, especially if you want to roll back to a version which worked, right? Because imagine you continue and work for 5 hours on your code, and then everything is not working anymore, and you're like, man, I fucked up the whole code. Like, it doesn't do anything anymore. So you say, okay, I'll just go back, and then you go like Control Z, like 500 times. But accidentally, you not delete it, you close your PyCharm, so all your changes are lost. You can't revert to 4 hours ago. And that's why you have Git, and Git can save those snapshots of your code. And then you say, okay, let me go back to 4 hours again. But to do that, you have to understand that you have to push, you have to take a screenshot or a snapshot of your code and put it to Git. And then I also can say, oh, I wanted to work with this version, so I can go there and download it to my computer without caring about you and telling you, hey, can you send it to me? That's basically what Git is doing for you, and that's why we want to dive into Git. And the first thing you need to do now is you need to download Git on your computer, because if you want to use a software, you need to download it, right? And for that, you just can go to git.com or git-scm, or just write git download, like here, and then you just can download it here. Git for this one, yeah, I think this is the official version, exactly. And then you can download it for Windows, Linux, Mac, or whatever you want. I have it for Windows. And then you get an X file where you can check out, or like you have to install it. So that's, I think that's trivial. You just have to press OK. And if you find a setting in the installer where it says add Git to your path or something, you have to tick the box so it adds it to your path. Which basically just means you can execute Git anywhere on your computer where you want. And to do that, we will go to the PowerShell. Okay, this is like our terminal on our computer. And now when I install it, which I don't show right now, I just opened my PowerShell, and then I can say Git. And then you can see it tells me something like I can use Git like this. So it means Git has been installed. And then I even can say Git -- version, which is Git and a parameter which tells me what version of Git do I have. So right now I have Git 2.9. And as you can see here, the latest source release is 2.37. So actually I have to update it. But I don't work so much on my Windows PC, so I didn't update it yet, but I should do that, okay? Because always work with the most recent release, because they have security updates and all that stuff, okay? Does that make sense until here, Johnny? I think you already know all of that, right?
Oh, I was muted. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then I also told you to create your own GitHub account and create one of your own repositories. And this is what we did here. And you see those are all my repositories. And now we will check or get in touch with the command line interface. So I will go here and see, okay, this is my command line actually. So I would just go from the beginning. So I go on GitHub, I create my account, and you actually can also connect your Google account with that. And then if you finished everything, you should have a page which looks like this or just like that. It doesn't matter, because everywhere where you are, you can check on this plus button here, where it just tells you what you can do. And we don't want to create a new project, but a new repository. So we click on that one, and then we can give it a name. We don't want to use a template. And then I say playground Python. So this is just where I play around and do whatever I want. I can get in a description, it doesn't matter. I can set it to private or public. So private, nobody can access it but me, and public, everybody can access it. And then I can add a README file if I want, but for now, we just ignore everything which is here and make it public so everybody can see our spaghetti code. No. Create repository. Then it will just create something for you. And what I showed last week is that we have different ways and methods to put our code into GitHub, okay? Because normally when you're on Google Drive, you just have your whole interface where it says upload a new file. And you could do the same here by just pressing on uploading a new file, and then I can choose my file and just upload it, and then it's done. But it's still not connected to your computer. And what I want to show you is how you can use your command line interface, your terminal, to connect to GitHub, and then send files to it and send files back and forth. And yeah, so to do that, you will get to this page, and this is the quick setup section, but we don't use that one, and we want to use this one. We want to create a new repository on a command line. And the reason why we want to use a command line is because we want to become really cool programmers. Because the command line, aka your terminal, is the space or the place where you can do everything. Because remember, when the computers got introduced to the world, there wasn't a real interface with a mouse. People had to use the keyboard only. So you only saw, where's my terminal? You just saw this. And then you have to say directory, so we can see everything which you are doing, you know? And you couldn't do anything else. So I could go to cd development and then ls and show all the files which are listed here. That's how people had to work before. And now we use the command line because in the future, you will also work with a lot of tools which require command line interface knowledge, or how to work with the terminal actually. So you need to understand, what do you write here? What is cd, or what is clear, or what is directory, or make dir, or whatever that is. And that's why I want to introduce you to the terminal already. And to do that, we will just start with GitHub. And now you don't need to understand everything. All you have to do is you go here and copy all those lines here, which basically is done by pressing this button. So I just press it and I go here. Oh my God. And then I can just paste everything here. As you can see, I can just paste the whole part and it will just do exactly what I want to do. And I just need to press enter and then it executes all of those files. I hope so on Windows, because I'm not sure if that actually works. But as you can see, it does something, something is happening, and you see the format of this file is not so good, so it's just a wall of text. And then you see, okay, it initialized something, a Git repository here, and then it just created something for me. And if I go back here, nothing changed, so I just refresh the page. Now, you see, I created something. Or like the code, like GitHub itself created this repository now for me. And let's see what will happen here if I go into my terminal. And actually, I have to explain to you how to use it. But for now, I will just tell you specific commands which you have to use. And later, we can go deeper into the terminal, okay? So it requires some terminal knowledge. But now, you see, I'm in this path, and I want to go into the folder where I installed my playground. So I don't know what the name is, so I'll just write ls, which stands for list, and now I check where it is. So I called it Python. What did I call it again? Playground Python. So let's see where the P is. Playground, where is it? Playground, I don't know. Playground? Wait, I need to check what I did here. Python playground, first commit, development. Oh, wait, let me go to my file. Maybe it's here? Do you see that anywhere, guys? Where is it?
I think initialize the Git in your root user directory. Check.
Oh yeah, of course. Man, there was like one step too far already. I think I still have to clone it, right?
If you clone it, yeah, it will be.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm not sure if. What did you say?
Like if you're inside your development folder and you do
Yeah.
clone, yeah, it's gonna create a folder inside it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's too much actually.
For now, what you can do is just use the Git desktop app, or even if you use it, I mean, just do. Do you have the GitHub? CLI?
No. Just the CLI, but I don't have the GitHub version. I think I can go with this one, man. I just go here, and because now people just need to, or you guys just have to follow what I have to do, and later I can explain it like in detail with you. Because right now we just want to get in touch with Git and get this file which you created here, the README file from this repository on my computer. So I'll just click here on code, and then you have different ways how to download it. Yeah, Blazor?
I was gonna say the way easier version would be to start from your computer, then push to GitHub. There
Yeah.
you have to git root and git set remote whatever is done. But here they have to do the reverse, which is like 20 steps more.
Yeah, I think I'm missing out some chapters here because Johnny, for example, I don't know if you have a terminal knowledge. Do you know how to move in a terminal? Are you muted?
I think you might.
I know CD, change directory, and double dot to go back.
Okay, I think maybe Blazer's right. I think this because you know I'm too deep into this GitHub thing all the time. That's why it's too trivial for me. And I forgot that you actually also have to learn how to use the command line first. Because if I just explain it to you right now, I think it will be too confusing. You know. So I think we just can stick with it right now. So we just leave it like that. So we just create another repository today just to have it right now. And in the next class, I can go from the other way and start by explaining how to work with the terminal and then also how to get your code into GitHub. But we work from the other way instead of from Git to your computer. Because I think that's a little bit more complicated if you don't, like, not you, Johnny, but other people if they don't have this experience yet, okay? So right now we just have, hello Marvin, we just have, we just created a repository on your computer, and if you go back here, you just can click on add file, and then you upload your file. You can click here, and then you just can drag and drop everything which you are working on. For example, all the 7 tasks which we did before, and drag it into here, and then you just have to write a commit message, which basically says this snapshot or this files which I uploaded, this is the description of it. So I say uploaded all tasks from the bootcamp, for example. That's what you did. And then you upload multiple files, and then you click commit changes, and then everything should be on top. Okay? So maybe I can show it to you. So let's go here. I will find my development folder. Oh my God. Development folder. Wait, let me find the file. Development, demo long. So I'll just take something here. So I just drag and drop it here, as you can see. And hello, did anything happen? Yes, here. Main.py, as you can see. This is what I just uploaded. Or I will just take another one, which is an example log. It doesn't matter. You see, it just added it to it, and then I said edit the main file of task 7, for example. Main.py file of task 5 or 7, it doesn't matter. And then you commit the changes and say commit directly to the main branch. It's totally fine. And then you do it, and then it will just put it into this file, as you can see here. Okay? So that's how you use the GitHub interface to upload your file. So we basically, like on the Dropbox or Google Drive, we just uploaded some files into this. And now everybody who I sent this link to can access it. And then you can see what's happening here. It doesn't matter. This is my main file, just some random code. And then I could go to here, send it to you like this in the conference room, and then you see my repository. And that's how you basically upload files on GitHub with the GitHub interface. Okay? Look at this. Now I just opened the same link again, because this is what I just sent to you. And I think for Johnny, I think that's what you already know. But I think on Wednesday, we can then go deeper into the whole command line interface way or method, how to use the terminal and then just upload it to GitHub. Okay? Yes.
Okay. Can you?
What?
Can you click on issues?
Issues. Where? Here?
Yeah.
Oh no. What is this? Hello, thanks for creating this tool. So the issues basically is just some kind of ticket system for your GitHub repository. And then let's see what happened here. Ticket number 1 opened 20 seconds ago by Julio, and he said, Hello. Thanks for creating this tool. You see, that's how we already can work together. But you don't. Oh my God. He's even. I love this too. Marked as duplicate. Duplicate. What is happening? Look at this. We can even chat with that. And then we can review code and see what is happening in this code, in this repository. And that's how you already can interact with GitHub. So we basically just covered or like have an introduction into GitHub. And next time it will go into some more or deep dive into the command line interface. And I think just explaining how to clone and push GitHub without having terminal knowledge is a little bit hard. Okay, so guys, I hope that gave you some insights into Git and that you understood why it's important. Johnny, also for you, does it make sense?
It makes sense. I have a question too.
Yes, if you have any questions, guys, shoot it.
Can you just quickly show in the command line how to add multiple files?
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Look at this.
Maybe I would use git add and then put in the name of the file, but yesterday
Yeah.
I wanted to upload 3 files at once, so I didn't know how
Yeah,
to do that.
I was before I was actually gonna ask if he can share his screen and show us like he does it. We just say
Yeah, maybe that's even easier because if you just listen to me, it's easy to follow. But I think maybe we even can see what your problem is. Johnny, how about you want to share your screen? Perfect. So I just go to Discord and click on your screen. So let's go. So, by the way, this is our Discord, and this is Johnny's screen right now. Okay, so.
oh
Mhm.
my god, PowerShell long.
Stop it.
Joey,
We
better or
we don't have anything better than this on Windows right now, so that's fine. That's fine. We will switch to another one later. Johnny, can you make it a little bit bigger, please? Yeah, perfect, man. Perfect, perfect. Okay,
Kid that after this to customize this thing. Looks ugly.
stop it, man. We need to eat the dirt first, man, and then we can make it beautiful. Okay, you need to scroll.
So far it works.
Okay, wait. Exactly. It has to work, Blazor. It doesn't have to be beautiful. We can make it later. Yeah, let's go to your folder actually.
Wait, put this thing, the folder on your side and terminal on the other side so we can see everything. Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay, so first I need to change my directory to my GitHub folder or like
Yeah.
the folder I want to work with. So can I just copy this here?
Yeah.
You would have to edit it, but it's way better if you just something like that.
Yeah, let's practice it. Yeah.
And
What
you
is
have
this?
to change the slashes. They have to be full.
No, try it. Because the PowerShell has some power, man. Damn it. Okay, remove. No, just write CD. Oh no, I show you something else. Write ls. Enter. Now you see all the folders. You just have a lot of folders right now. So we know, you see, the folder is called documents, right? So now write CD documents. But I think for you it's documento. Okay. Okay. Then you know the next folder is GitHub. So you know, yeah, exactly. Now enter. Oh yeah. You have another folder, of course. Enter.
So now I'm in the directory.
Yeah. Now.
John, one thing you shouldn't do is name your folders using dots.
Yeah. Just call it with dash.
It's gonna stab you hard. Don't do that.
Yeah. I understand why you did that.
It was self.dev because the name of the community.
Yes, makes sense, man. Appreciate it. But for this case, just write self-def. But it doesn't matter now. Now it won't break. Now just go and write ls again. So you get used to it. And now you see this is exactly the same files which you have on the left side. You can see, right? So ls is just list everything. And now let's see what's happening. When you work with Git, now you can see on the left side you have a hidden folder which is called .git, right? On the left. And this is the indicator that this folder is a Git is connected to a Git repository. But on your right side, it doesn't show it because you didn't say list also the invisible files. But you can do it. I can show you. Just write ls space and then dash la. No, together, la. Yeah, let's test it. Enter. Oh no, what is this? Oh. Or maybe just write ls space minus a or dash a. Yeah. Man. Okay.
Sony Mac OS.
Yeah. Blazor, do you know how to write this on Windows?
No, we don't even need that. Man.
Shit. Okay, just write clear. Write clear. So everything is gone. Man, welcome to Windows, man. Okay, now let's check what's happening by writing git status. Perfect, man. Okay, man, this font is so bad. I get it, Blazor. Yeah, but we do it later, man. We do it later. So you can see all of those are your files. And what is happening? What is your problem?
Add everything at once.
Oh yeah, okay.
But before that, so basically what I understand here is that I still have one modified file, which is called this, my own stuff, Chris Game, but I haven't uploaded it, right? Or they committed it to my...
Yeah, exactly. It says changes not staged for commit.
Okay. But what are these then? Like, why are they untracked?
Because, yeah, explain it, Blazor.
Yeah, so this is basically when you initialize a Git repository and you create files in there, you have 3 stages or 2 stages, but they sum up to 3. Stage 1 is where you have files that are not tracked, like they're not being recorded in the history, but they're there, which represents the file you're seeing here. You're seeing untracked files, and it's showing a lot like 1, 2, 3, more than 5. And above that, you have files that are not staged for commit. Basically, what it means, the file above, those that are not staged for commit, they are being tracked. So whatever change you make there, history of Git will recognize it. And if you do Git commit, then push, the one that's not staged will go to Git stage when you commit, and then after you do push, it's gonna go. But the ones below, they will not. Like nothing will happen. What you have to do is add. Once you do git, if you do that and set the name of the file, it's gonna add only that file. And you can also instead of the file, just specify the folder, like the first thing, then slash. It will add everything below that. So you would add the whole folder. But if you wanna add, let's say you have different folders, and you want to add all of them at the same time, you just do what you did, but you say dot, and you press enter. It's going to add everything. I don't know if any of that made sense. So before you do that, can you tell me if I made sense or not?
Okay. Yeah, I can follow you so far. I think I need to see it when we actually do it.
Okay. Just add one. Just add one of them so we have more to work with. Just pick one of the folders below .ide.
Idea. Okay. So basically, I want to add this whole folder here. Python beginner class course.
So just select. See here the red lines, the red files. Just copy the name and paste it, or you can write if you want. Yeah.
Wait, are you explaining how to add one file?
Yeah, just the file and everything below the file, and do slash. And press enter.
This will add the whole folder now, right?
It will add everything inside the folder. And do git stadium, and you can see it's now green, meaning that changes to be committed. basically these have now been staged. They're like in stage one. Like
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
ready
yeah.
to be committed. If you do git commit blah blah blah, the ones that are red will not get affected because they were not staged. So they need to be staged.
Okay, so for example, I want to stage this file here too. I have to edit now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can press tab actually.
Press enter. Yeah, it added. But imagine this were like 100 files. It's gonna take forever.
Yes. So how
And
can you add multiple files?
before we do that, let's put back to how it was. So we have more files. Just go up with your mouse where it says changes. No, no, with your mouse. Changes. No, no, no. Just scroll it. Scroll down. Yeah. Changes to be committed. Just go with your mouse. Yeah, and on git restore stage blah blah blah. See this part? Git restore. You just copy that. Yeah, or you can write. And staged, and say the path, the Python thing. Yeah, enter. And now do git status. You see that it put it back to how it was.
Yeah, you just took it out so that it won't get pushed to your GitHub.
Okay.
And now do git add then dot. Yeah, this will literally take anything inside this repository and add it to the stage environment. And just do enter. And now do git status.
Do I ignore the warning?
And this is just telling you you committing something you probably shouldn't, which is your IDE. Those things you probably shouldn't.
Yeah. You need
Git ignore. We have to create that.
yeah, but before we do that, this warning we should have there is that it as you if you read it, it says warning in the working copy of idea inspect blah 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 XML. LF will be replaced by CRLF the next time Git touches it, which basically means those are I think what is it called, LF line breaks or something, because in XML files and Windows and other operation systems, they just work in a different ways. That's why it says LF will be replaced by CRLF. So this is just a warning of this file, but we don't want to add this file anyway. So you can ignore it, and our Blazor will explain to you how to ignore them. Okay?
Yeah. So
Cool. You can ignore them.
Yeah.
can you make the terminal small? Just we need to see the.
What do you need to see?
We don't. You made it wide. Can you make it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here in the same level on the left on your how do you call this thing? Window Explorer.
Mhm.
On the white side. Yeah, here. Here in the same level. Normally, when you have Git, you need to have another file that's normally created automatically. I don't know what it didn't create here, which is called git ignore. It also starts with a dot, so we can either create it here or in the terminal. Just create a file. I think just a text file. Text, yeah. But change the format. It says .txt. We'll change that to
Nothing.
yeah. Do
What does it say? No, it's not ignore.
Oh.
but you're close. What do you have to write, Blazor?
git ignore.
Yeah, git ignore, not ignore.
One
It was close. It was close.
Yeah. And press enter.
Git ignore. Exactly. Yes. It just says you removed your file format txt, and then it will not work actually if a normal program uses it. But now you just have a git ignore file. Okay, let's go. Blazor.
No, is this the same file you have open inside your IDE? The same folder? Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
see now your files have colors and all? So here you get the same view as your terminal.
Yeah, it's green and red, as you can see.
Cool.
Click git ignore. Just open it. Double click. Now here you can like say which files you don't want Git to track. Like it's just gonna ignore them, and just do dot. If you dot, and you can see this.
Ooh, so simple.
And you can just click that and just
Look at
save.
this symbol, man.
Yeah,
It even
shows the
tells you.
And now go to your terminal again and do here.
Just press enter once.
Wait, why is it?
No, just press enter.
Why is it cut off?
Yeah, because you just dragged it and we are on Windows.
Yeah, try doing Git status again. So we just
Git status.
yeah, you can see here it still has the files we said you don't want to include still up there. So what we have to do is first commit this git ignore so it recognizes everything, or remove the IDE from the stage environment. So we can do
Idea.
restore stage.ide.
Yeah.
You wanna
No.
end this?
Yeah, you can do that. I just do it. Do it. Now just do dot. Yeah. Now do this status again. And it added the git ignore, but since we already staged the files we don't want, we need to take them out. And once we take them out, yeah, they won't show up again. So we just basically do git restore staged and .id.
Oh man.
Do it like this.
Yeah.
And then it will remove every .idea file.
Yeah.
No, not every idea file, but more like the folder.
Yeah, this is like the folder. Basically, anything inside this folder will get.
And you have a typo. It says restore.
Oh,
You can't do that. You have to move.
Yeah, you need to move with your arrow.
arrows,
oh,
huh?
okay.
And yeah, before you do that, I have a question for Blazor. Blazor, do you also use git remove?
No.
Yeah, because Johnny, one thing you need to understand is there are always a couple of ways to do something with Git. And this one is like, for example, this is something which I don't use because I have to write too much. And I have another way which is shorter, but for now we'll just stay with this one because it basically it makes sense by reading it, you know. So just leave it by that. I can show you another way in another day, but let's go.
So do I need? Yeah. Do I need
Enter.
The slash? Oh, do I need the slash after idea?
Try like this. I've never tried without slash.
Yeah.
Like this.
Try.
Enter. Yeah. Git status.
Mm.
It doesn't even show
Long.
Oh shit.
our part because we're not
Nice.
in the ignore. So it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore you. I want to add you to my red and not.
Yeah.
And now you can safely commit without publishing your secrets. So if you have secrets, you just put them there, and they won't
Take them
go
out.
to GitHub with public.
Exactly. That's why, because writing git add dot is not so secure, you know, because it basically takes all your files which you have in your folder and changed. And then maybe you edit your password manager, boom, it gets uploaded, it's public, people got your data. And many people do that on the internet. They just scrape all GitHub repositories and find if anybody's public and publish their credential files for Google Cloud or with their personal information, and then they have the data. You know, that's why make sure what you did. And Blazor, before you do that, Johnny, do you think we should introduce Johnny to the Gitmojis as well, or another time? Gitmojis.
Maybe 2 weeks later.
Yeah, okay. Now just do it, Johnny. And for those who don't know, now Johnny wrote git
Wait,
commit.
Message to suspicious. What is this? Added multiple files. Which
Yeah, just to explain, now he says he will commit what he did, and he needs to add a commit message. So he says git commit -m for message. That's why it says edit Python beginner course folder.
Just delete. Hello.
Why? Why do you want to delete it?
Yeah.
Wait,
Wait. You just commit.
Yeah, just do it, man.
I just edit the message so people understand.
Wait. Another one. Right? Edit git ignore as well. Like edit comma git ignore. This is also important. Git ignore, perfect.
Wait. No, that's not gonna work. No, no.
Yeah. Also, you already are doing a great job, Johnny, because what like those git commit messages, they shouldn't be too long, and also you should say like the first word is like something you did, like you're doing, which is like I added blah 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 blah. Yeah, the verb, and because you also can say remove, updated, extended, implemented, yeah, anything, which is super important. So people know what happened. And then you can edit. Let's go.
Oh no. Is this repository public?
It is.
Oh, now we have all the data, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Take the data, man.
Go ahead.
No, perfect. Now write git status again. You see, everything is cool. And now the last part, Blazor, what do we have to do?
If you do git push, it's gonna fail.
Okay. But why? Why? Okay, this is okay.
It won't
Newton.
fail. It will just stop you from doing that. That's because your branch. Oh no. I was reading the other way around. But normally, if the remote branch, like on GitHub there, is ahead of your local branch, and you try to push what you have to the remote, it's gonna stop you because you need to first pull, then you push. Otherwise, yeah, it's gonna have conflicts, and conflicts will be there. You have to resolve them locally. So yeah, here you just do git push.
Okay, so
Yeah, let's go, man. Push it.
Push.
Enter.
Ta-da!
Oh shit, man.
This is what I was talking about. It just read the error. It says fail to push some references to blah 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 blah. Rejected because contains works that you do not have locally.
Oh, what have you done?
So you have to pull.
oh, because I
You uploaded something on Git already, right?
I deleted some files in the repository.
In the repository online. Oh, yeah. That's what will happen.
Okay,
Never.
so you learn by mistakes, right? Because
Yeah.
I want to be a senior programmer.
Yeah. Like one thing I avoid doing, unless you know what you're doing or you will like solve that immediately, avoid deleting or creating stuff there. Then you work here, you do a lot of stuff, you might forget, and you try to like if you do something there, pull immediately, then you can work in peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so first time getting git pull, right?
Yeah, but wait. If you do it now,
Conflicts.
you will have some conflicts. But for example, the files which you deleted online, they will come down to your code. And if you have something else locally which you didn't have on Git, it will still stay. But sometimes, for example, imagine you worked on the same file which you deleted online, right? And then you do it, then it will take the online file and replace your local file, and then your local file is gone. You know? That's why if you do something like this, it's very dangerous if you just pull it without knowing what you actually are doing. And if you have any changes, I would actually create another branch and all this stuff. But this is a little bit more complicated now. So now you need to figure out like how to fix this problem right now.
Yeah. See,
It's
I
fine.
have like only readme text and testing.py, but I still
Yeah.
have this here.
Yeah, it's fine. Let's
Yeah, then it's fine. Then it's fine.
Let's go to
But you just need to be aware.
everything better. I like
Okay.
conflict.
Yeah, now let's do it.
So git pull, right?
You
Yeah.
What about these three dots?
Nah, ignore it.
you can add some parameters to it, but we don't need it. Look,
Yeah.
now we just added it.
Wait. No. Let's read. Read
Oh.
the.
Yeah, man, read it. Read what you did.
Okay. I was too excited to see if it
Read
works.
it, then, man.
You can see at the end, ignores the stuff on the top. At the end, you can see
Merge made by the odd
or-
strategy.
or blah blah blah. I can't even talk. I forgot what this stands for. And you
What
can
is
see
ort?
on read nothing changed. It just yeah 0 lines.
I have no clue what
Wait,
odd
wait.
strategy
Why
is.
is it okay? Okay, it deleted 3 lines.
Yeah.
Files changed, 3 deletions. Okay.
This
There we
release.
go. Deleted. Yeah, exactly what
Okay.
I deleted yesterday.
Yeah, this is what.
But now I can push it, right? Because now my remote repository is the same as my
Yeah, but before you do that,
local is right.
Wait,
yeah.
before you do that, do git status.
Okay.
Always check what's happening. And wait.
You can see it's telling you your branch is ahead of main by 2 commits, but in reality it's just 1. It's saying 2 because you pulled, and you have the one that
Yeah.
one that you didn't push yet. But now before you push, do git diff.
Oh my god.
Yeah, again.
With double F for difference.
And
Oh, difference. Okay.
it's gonna check. Okay, do git diff.
I did.
Do it again and space. And can you see origin/main? Can you see on top? Yeah, it's gonna check what's the difference between yours and the one on the local. And just
Okay,
do enter.
that's too much,
So
man.
local is origin and main is
No,
remote.
no. By default, it's gonna check where you are, which is local, against what you write. So what you write is what's on the remote side. So it's doing git, and you can see this green stuff is what you have.
Oh my god.
That the remote doesn't have.
Stop it, Blazer. Stop it. This is too much, man. This is too much.
No, this is just it's your code. It's what you have here. What's not there, so you know what's going there. But if you see red, it means it's there, but you don't have it.
Yes, this is the file I wanted to upload. Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now do press Q on your keyboard.
This is Vim, by the way. You are in Vim.
This is the place you can never leave. Yeah.
Tartarus.
So yeah.
Okay, wait. No. Now just try and write git log for logging. Logger. Yeah.
No, after he pushes so he can see more.
No. We want to see it now too.
Yeah, do enter. This is your history, but it looks kind of ugly because there's no colors in this.
Yeah, look at the top. It says merge, branch, main, blah blah blah. I think you didn't even write this. This is like your current one.
It's only the ones that are indented. That's what he did.
Yeah.
He merged. He added the folders. That's his commit message. He did a mod hole, readmes. Yeah.
Yeah. Now just press Q, so you just see what did you do before, like all the commits you did before. But that's just something which you will look at next time. Then now just press Q, and now push it. And then we're good to go. Ngon, man, delicious.
Wow.
Enjoy a meal, man.
Nothing to commit working tree clean.
Oh wait.
Not everything is synchronized and up to date.
Okay, now I have these here. Git ignore also needs to be uploaded, right? In order to.
No, it's already there.
Okay. And now I should have contents here. Yes.
And there's all your spaghetti code.
This is what I learned, man. Elif is good. Else is bad.
Yeah, it's actually this. It's you read it else if. Python they're just too lazy and they wrote it like this.
Yeah. Okay, thank you guys. Cool. So today I learned pull request from my Git.
Wait, that's not pull request.
No,
Pull request.
didn't I pull
No, but
from my
yeah, pull, but
remote?
pull request is another concept, but it's the same scope.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So we just pushed it, and that's how the workflow actually works. And I know this was just very detailed and technical, but this is, don't worry, we will cover the whole GitHub thing in detail. So this was just some help on Johnny himself. And Johnny, I hope that helped you more. And yeah, so thank you for joining today again, and also for your great questions. And I think today we just covered the debugger and how to upload on GitHub, with your user interface from GitHub. But next time we will also help you on the command line interface, like which we did before, right now. So I think that's for it for today. If you have any questions, just put them into questions, and then we're done for today, guys. So thank you again for watching and joining. And if you need any help, join our Discord server on in the description down below. And see you next Sunday again. So thank you. Peace.